You know, sometimes I feel like today no one really cares about creating a high quality product, and these companies are just doing what they can to make the absolute most profit without a concern for the environment, for the quality of the product, or for the consumer. And it's kind of sad because you can look into any sector of any business and see this happening. I mean, if you look at real estate, look at what McDonald's, Burger King, Taco Bell, Pizza Hut are doing. Remember, they used to have really iconic looking buildings, really iconic looking styles. I mean, we all remember the iconic style of Taco Bell in the 90s with that weird squiggly pattern, or the big hut for Pizza Hut. But they don't do that anymore. Because they do that because when the business decides to leave there, they want to be able to resell the business. And so from a business standpoint, it makes sense because it makes that building more able to be sold to another business. So it's, occupied more often and creates more revenue. But what that does is that it creates something a little bit less exciting, a little bit less interesting. If we switch over to the video game industry, think about all the recent games you've played. Now, don't get me wrong, there's plenty of brand new games that have come out recently that are phenomenal. But think about like Call of Duty on the Xbox 360 days versus Call of Duty now. Think about how all these games kind of feel like you've played it before. They kind of just feel like rehashed ideas and nothing new and exciting. Or we can even look at the clothing industry and think about how everything that's fast fashion is really just a bunch of polyester garbage. And if you didn't know, polyester is very structurally similar to the exact same plastic that's in your water bottle. Okay, it's shedding microplastics all into our body, and people just wear it because it's cheap. And some of it looks good. Polyester can actually look really good. But nobody wants to pay extra for all wool products. Nobody wants to pay extra for hemp fibers and things that might cost a little more. What this all boils down to is that nobody really has pride in the work they do anymore. They only care about creating as much money as they can. Instead of creating a very high quality product, there's no concern for what the product is actually like, the sustainability for the planet, or for the end consumer. You can even look at the car industry. Just look around you at the cars on your block, and you will mostly see gray, silver, black, and white. And it didn't used to be that way. It used to be able to, back in the day, you'd see cars of all sorts of colors in the rainbow. And you still see some colorful cars, but it's mostly reserved for sports cars. You don't really see daily commuters bright yellow or green or blue or any of these bright, beautiful colors. And what it is people have realized that they can make more money by creating an okay product that appeals to everybody, instead of making a niche product extremely well, but it only appeals to a small group of people. And I think that takes the excitement out of life because everything is kind of made to be the same. Everything looks the same, everything feels the same. There's no uniqueness or originality left in the world. I shouldn't say there's none left, but it's getting siphoned out for the sake of money. But what we can do something positive that we can do is we can make conscious decisions to support companies that don't follow these practices. And there are a few, while they're few and far between, there are a few. Unfortunately, most of the companies that focus on sustainability and high quality products have raised their prices so much. And that's not them being greedy. It's because to do things the old school way of high quality, done by hand, made in America, not outsourced to these sweatshops where the workers are abused, that just costs an absurd amount of money to produce. And that's why it's less common, and that's why the few companies that are doing it charge so much. But the everyday person like you and me, we can't afford $300 shirts. I mean, I would love to get an all merino wool wardrobe, but I just can't afford that. And that's where thrifting comes in play. See, thrifting is really good for two ways. One, because you're buying secondhand, no materials or labor have to be used to create a new product. So that already is sustainable and better for our environment. And second, you can save so much money if you know what to look for. This shirt I'm wearing right now is a 100% wool Pendleton sweater that I think I pay like $5, $6, $7 for. And I mean, I don't know the prices of these retail, but I know they're well over $100. And I paid $7, and it's in great condition. In fact, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, all the clothing I'm wearing I found from a thrift store. It's one of my favorite hobbies because it's exciting. You never know what you're gonna get. You're saving lots of money, and you're actually doing something good for the environment. I mean, it's rare that you can check all of those boxes in one activity. Yeah, sorry for all the noise, guys. I do live in a busy downtown area. Another thing that you can do to combat this is to make the conscious effort to do things yourself, to make your own food. Make so much food that you can from scratch. Instead of buying this processed junk that's full of high fructose corn syrup and emulsifiers and all this other crap that's not good for us, make your own food from scratch. Just hearty vegetables and good quality organic meats. And same thing I was just talking about. That may not be accessible to everyone, okay? But you can make stuff from scratch that's wholesome. One thing that I think everyone could do is to just be intentional with how you spend your money and your time. Try to go for things that stand out to you, something that is unique, something that is original, something that you find amazing. Share those things that you find amazing. Share those things with others. Don't try to follow the trends and do what everyone else is doing. Try to get that thing that everyone else has. Do what you want to do. Find what you want to find out of life. And I think that will bring back the beautiful diversity that is humankind.